I have problems with Dragon Ball Super. My overall experience watching the show, I felt like I was wasting my time. From the very beginning, we start off with a filler episode about the kids going to get water or something, and Goku getting money from Mr. Satan that's not important later. After that, we spend 14 episodes recapping the Battle of Gods movie, adding hardly anything that adds any value to the overall plot. We then get 4 episodes of filler until we get 12 episodes of recap of the Resurrection F movie. Side note, what the hell happened to Gohan in this part? I can handle his stupid tracksuit, but what the hell was this? After that, we finally get something new that has any value. We get a tournament between our main cast and an adjacent universe of other characters. The stakes aren't high. There's a rule input that you aren't allowed to kill your opposing fighter, so nobody's gonna die. If the Z fighters lose, their Earth will be sent to Universe 6 so that the God of Destruction Champa can get their food. That's it. Not even imply that Champa's that bad of a guy, he just cheats. The fights aren't anything special. All but one of the fights have any suspense to them. We're well aware that Goku and Vegeta are way stronger than their other fighters and that there's a giant power gap. Goku and Vegeta don't even have to fight at their full power until they get to the last fighter on the enemy team. Hit. Anyways, Goku wins. The fight was cool, I guess. They set up that Hit and Goku are gonna have a rematch eventually. Before the next arc, we're introduced to the Omni King, a little guy in charge of everything that can destroy everything just by willing it. He and Goku make friends. He gives Goku a button to summon him for Playdates. After some more filler, the next arc worth anything is the Goku Black arc. Back in Dragon Ball Z, we're introduced to Future Trunks, an alternate reality version of the son of Vegeta and Bulma. When we're introduced to him, he warns the Z fighters that there's gonna be androids attacking later and Goku's gonna die of heart problems. He fixes Goku, then the arc is about the androids until it's about Cell. This whole arc takes place in the current timeline, not the timeline Future Trunks is from. That timeline is already wasted because the androids won there. The arc is about stopping that future from happening in the timeline we've been following for the whole series. The Goku Black arc starts off with an evil version of Goku rampaging in the timeline that Future Trunks lives in. He can't defeat him, so he comes to the main timeline to get Goku and Vegeta to help. They go to the timeline that is wasted, the one we don't care if it gets destroyed. Not only because we haven't been spending hundreds of episodes in it, but because it's already destroyed. There's nothing to lose. If they wanted, Trunks and everybody else could just move to a different timeline. That's what happens in the end anyways. The only real problem is having Goku Black follow them, which they could just kill him, which they do. In the main timeline, we're introduced to a Kai from an adjacent universe, Zamasu. Kais are immortal, and he thinks mortals are stupid.
Well, Zamasu? Zamasu.
He thinks they're too violent and all should die. This isn't really based off anything, but his opinion is confirmed when he sees some alien cavemen fighting. So his plan, to stop mortals from being violent, is to kill them. With violence. He calls this plan
Project Zero Mortals.
This was the point where it became evident that the show was either written for children or it thinks I'm stupid. Zamasu meets Goku and thinks he's super cool because he's super strong. So he devises a plan to steal his body. So Goku Black is just Zamasu and Goku's body. As a twist, I guess that's fine.
There's 2 of them!
Zamasu goes to another timeline or something and wishes for Goku's body. That's how we get Goku Black.
Egglet murderer!
Hold your fire! This man isn't black! What?
Then a second Zamasu wishes for invincibility, so he can both be immortal and invulnerable. Yes, there is a difference, and I commend the show for actually knowing there's a difference. Goku Black kills future Bulma off-screen. It could have been made into something interesting, but it wasn't. It would have been interesting to have Vegeta see an older Bulma, since Saiyans age considerably slower than humans, and they've never really acknowledged that in a serious sense. It would have also been interesting to have Vegeta see future Bulma die, considering she's killed by a guy with Goku's face. That would have been a compelling thing to have Vegeta go through, but it was squandered. They all fight, Zamasu fuses, then Goku and Vegeta do the same thing. It comes down to Trunks to defeat Merge Zamasu. The loophole for how Merge Zamasu can even be defeated is that Zamasu is half invulnerable, because the Goku Black half didn't wish for invulnerability. A loophole I saw coming, but I'd imagine the target audience didn't think of. Trunks gathers energy from what's left of humanity in the destroyed timeline, then channels it into his sword and kills Merge Zamasu. Now hold up! Merge Zamasu is currently the strongest villain they've had to fight. Goku and Vegeta used the same fusion against Buu, and devastated him. Against Merge Zamasu, and with a higher level of power than before, they're unable to win. Goku used a spirit bomb from everybody on Earth. Now if it took all their energy from everybody on Earth to kill Buu, how can the energy from like 30 people be enough to kill someone who is way stronger? It can't. It makes no sense. It just happens and we have to accept it because it works thematically and looks super duper cool. After Merge Zamasu is killed, his soul or something merges with reality and it's impossible for them to win because you can't really kill reality. Goku uses the button to summon the Omni King from the destroyed timeline and he just Thanos snaps Zamasu away. After that, there's two Omni Kings lying around, so Goku introduces them to each other and they become friends.
There's 2 of them!
Before the next arc starts, Goku and Hit fight, Goku dies, but then it's okay because he doesn't die, and I totally thought he was gonna die for real. And even if he died, the Dragon Balls could just bring him back. Even if the rules of the Dragon Balls say that he can't come back, the rules have changed enough times that if it was convenient for the story, it would work. Or they would use the super duper Dragon Balls. The next arc starts off with the Omni Kings bored of each other, and they remember Goku saying it'd be fun if every universe beat the shit out of each other. So that happens. The consequences being that any universe that loses gets erased and the winners get a wish from the Super Dragon Balls. Goku thinks it's okay because it'll be fun and he'll get to fight strong people. This is where everybody shits on Goku for being an idiot, both in show and in the audience. In Dragon Ball Super, Goku is an idiot who only thinks about fighting. So basically Luck from Black Clover. But he wasn't always an idiot and he didn't always only care about fighting. There's a phenomenon called the Pygmalion effect. This is where the expectations placed on someone affect that person's actions, influencing our expectations of them, and so on and so on. They end up becoming a caricature of themselves. Goku, written by Toei, is an idiot who only thinks about fighting. Herder Goku bad dad who only wants to fight. This isn't the case when Goku's written by Akira Toriyama. Goku grew up in the woods by himself, so there's some leeway with Goku not knowing things. By the time we get to Dragon Ball Super, Goku is in his 40s and should know better with some things. Goku liked fighting, but that wasn't his personality. When he was fighting Frieza, Vegeta, and even Raditz, he was fighting because if the enemy wins, it's gonna be bad. When Goku unlocks Super Saiyan at the sight of Krillin getting blown up by Frieza, his first thought isn't, "Nice, I've broken through my limits and reached a new power." He's set on avenging Krillin and stopping Frieza. When Goku is fighting Vegeta, he's fighting to save Earth from the Saiyan invasion. You can interpret Goku going past the Kaioken limit King Kai set for him as testing his limits, but I interpret it as Goku doing what he had to do to win. When Goku was fighting Raditz, it wasn't for shits and giggles. It was to save Gohan, his son, who he cares about. Herder, Piccolo is Gohan's real dad. Gohan and Piccolo only trained together for a year. That's the same time Gohan and Goku spent together in the hyperbolic time chamber. Herder, Goku didn't care if Gohan was getting hurt during the Cell games. There's an episode in the hyperbolic time chamber where Goku and Gohan are training. Goku is going easy on Gohan and letting Gohan take his time to train his own pace. Gohan then tells Goku that Goku can't go easy on him because Gohan needs to be able to stand up to Cell. So Goku gives Cell a sensu bean to make sure Gohan is given a fair test to make sure he can stand up to Cell. When Cell is beating the shit out of Gohan and Goku does nothing, it's because Goku thinks that's what Gohan wants. Goku doesn't realize in that moment that Gohan can't handle it until Piccolo tells him. So now because Goku can't help but want to fight everything that moves, multiple universes are gonna die. But not really, because we know our main universe is gonna win and wish everybody back. Also because we know this show takes place before the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, which takes place in the future, where we know everybody's alive! Goku recruits various members of the cast to help with the tournament, each character getting their own filler episode before the tournament starts. Krillin spars with Goku and there's no tension because you can tell Goku is holding back. Goku goes to get Tien and we see his dojo we don't really care about and probably never will. And it'll probably never be relevant again. Goku goes to get Android 17 and he says he'll join if he can use the Super Dragon Balls to wish for a bow. Which is so ridiculously stupid that you know he's not gonna actually wish for a bow and it's gonna be used as false tension. Like, they're gonna win and we're supposed to be worried he won't wish to bring everybody back. The last person recruited is Frieza, which makes sense from a logistical standpoint because Frieza is easily stronger than some of the other team members recruited. It's pretty evident that Frieza is only here for fan service because people think Frieza is cool. This arc introduces a lot of characters. A majority we'll never see again because their designs are so uninteresting. The character hyped up the most by the cast and the audience is Jiren, a really buff gray alien that's pretty much invincible. An alien that is buff and pretty much invincible versus Goku. Okay. We spend the arc watching characters with uninteresting character designs and uninteresting powers fight. There's a handful of fights that are actually entertaining to watch though. At the front end of the show, Beerus foreshadowed an ability that anybody can learn. The Bruce Lee thing where your body moves on instinct instead of on command. Throughout this arc that takes place over less than an hour, Goku starts to unlock this ability that even some of the most powerful characters in the series don't have. At this point in the series, it's evident that Goku is going to be the best at everything just because. Goku unlocks the ability dubbed Ultra Instinct, but for some reason it's a form. Like, Goku's hair changes color. Why is it a form? It's an ability. Kaioken is an ability and it's not a form. Luffy has essentially the same ability and it's not a form. Also, the whole gimmick is just to move good. Like, Goku's just really good at dodging now. He was already good at dodging. Goku's been shown to be able to move faster than the human eye can naturally track. And that was all the way at the beginning of Z. And he's just now being able to move on instinct. Overall, I don't like Ultra Instinct and I think it's dumb. Goku fights Jiren and closes the alleged gigantic power gap between them just by unlocking this new form on accident. To win, Goku teams up with Frieza and Android 17, they beat Jiren, they bring back everybody that was eliminated at the end. Then Toei made a movie where they made Broly canon. It was cool, I guess. It's well animated, the story isn't the best, so I can only watch it so many times before I get bored. To chop it down to its bare bones, Frieza gets Broly, drops him on Earth to see what'll happen. Broly is strong enough to fight Goku and Vegeta. Goku and Vegeta fuse, they fight some more. Broly is a good guy, they foreshadow Broly will be back. The end. Some more stuff about the overall show. It's ugly. I don't even mean the in-betweens everybody likes to complain about. I don't like some of the backgrounds or the CGI used. Most of the new characters aren't appealing to look at. The colors are gross. I especially don't like what they did to Trunks. Good God. He looks like a dork now. They also changed his hair color from purple to blue to match Bulma's hair. But the shade of blue that was chosen for both of them is ugly. To go back to the Pygmalion effect, everybody knows Krillin is short, but it's gotten to the point where he's now too short. He looks like a gosh dang baby. Babies! Everybody looked better during certain parts of the Tournament of Power. They looked closer to when I thought the designs were best, during the Buu saga. Then they changed them again for the Broly movie. The movie overall looked good, the character designs included. To wrap it up, here are some things I think would improve Dragon Ball Super in the future. Keep the good character designs. I can put up with ugly keyframes, but the internet doesn't, so I guess fix those too. You can do it with One Piece, you can do it here too. Have actual villains, and when you do, they should have better motives than xenophobia. We just got that in Zamasu, and even so, we've already seen that in Frieza, and we've seen plenty of Frieza. Get rid of sensu beans, they're such a cop-out. You know they're a cop-out too, when at the beginning of every fight you have to acknowledge if anybody has any sensu beans. It'd be something if the next villain even killed off Korin and Yajirobe. Like, there they go, the only people who make sensu beans, gone. Along with that, temporarily get rid of the Dragon Balls. All the Dragon Balls. The Earth ones, the Namekian Dragon Balls, and the Super Dragon Balls. All of them. Have a villain or somebody wish on the Super Dragon Balls that nobody but them can use them. Or just wish them gone altogether. Destroy them. Something. Anything. And the plot thread of the rest of the series could be how to get the Dragon Balls back. In conclusion, overall, I don't really like Dragon Ball Super, and I think it was a waste of my time. I could have been watching so many other things.